Hello there, and welcome to video number 21. This video is on prime numbers, and the keywords I've got for you are prime numbers, factors, and multiples. Now, prime numbers are numbers with only two factors. Factors are numbers that fit into given numbers exactly, and multiples, well, they are the times tables of a given number. If you'd like to know more about those things, factors and multiples, please watch the previous videos that I made. Now, in this box, I've got a method, and the method is for identifying prime numbers mainly, but you have to know some stuff about prime numbers. You have to learn some things, right? And learning the list of, or the first 10 prime numbers is what we're going to do in the first question. That's going to be a useful set of numbers to learn, because there will be questions in maths papers that will ask you about things specifically to do with prime numbers. You're just going to have to recall them or know them to find the question easier. Now, got to learn the first prime numbers that are, got to learn the prime numbers are numbers with exactly two factors. You've got to learn the first 10, I'd say. I've listed the first 4 there. You've got to know how to work out what a prime number is, and this is how you do it. So know that all prime numbers end in a 1, a 3, a 7, or a 9, with the exceptions of 2 and 5, right? 2 and 5 are the only numbers that do not end in those digits. But know that it's not always just those numbers that end in these digits. It's not all the numbers that end in those digits, sorry. So, for example, 27 is not a prime number because it divides by 3 and it divides by 9. So it has more than two factors. Also, 1 is not a prime number, okay? 1 is not prime. You have to understand that. And it's because 1 only has one factor, which is itself. And know that when you identify a prime, you are able to eliminate all the multiples thereafter of that number. Okay, so for example, the 2 times table, all the numbers in that are not prime numbers. They're all even, right, for 1, and they're all going to have 2 as a factor. All right, and all the multiples of 3, well, they are not going to be prime because 3 is always going to fit into them. All right, and so on and so on and so on. So once you've got one, it becomes harder to get the next. Okay, so which is why it's quite simple to find the first 10. And then it becomes a little bit trickier after that. Now, little method here in pink, it says if a number that ends in a 1, a 3, a 7, or a 9 divides by 3 or 7, then it's not prime. And that's a really useful little trick to use when we get down the business end of stuff. Okay, so the first 10 prime numbers, as we said, 2, 3, 5, 7, and then the one after that is 11. Okay, it's not 9 because 9 is divisible by 3. Then we've got 13, then we've got, well, not 15, so 17, then 19, then 23, and then 29. Okay, so that's our list of 10 of the first 10 prime numbers. Learn them, be pretty useful. You'll find maths a little bit easier if you learn them. Now, in question 2, you've got to list all the prime numbers between 30 and 40. This is where this little trick here, I think, comes in quite handy. Just kind of mentally thinking whether the numbers divide by 3 or 7, because we know our times tables up to this point. I would hope so. We are going to think of the number 31. Well, does 31 divide by 3 to give an even, no, like a whole number, an integer? No, it doesn't. And does 31 divide by 7 to give an integer? No, it doesn't. So therefore 31 is definitely a prime number. All right, 33 is the next one that we would try. Let's try 33. Does it divide by 3? 33 divides by 3 to make 11. Okay, so that means that 33 is definitely not a prime number, okay, because 3 and 11 are factors of it. 35 is obviously going to be divisible by 5, any multiple thereafter of 5. 37 is one that we could try. Well, I know that it's not in the 3 times table, I know it's not in the 7 times table, so therefore it is a prime number. Okay, and then 39, well, if we divide 39 by 3, we're going to get 13. So 3 and 13 are factors, so therefore we have only got 2 factors only got 2 prime numbers between the numbers 30 and 40. Okay, now let's have a look at the third question. It's a more involved question. We're going to find 3 prime numbers that sum to 21. Okay, so let's just list a few prime numbers, or a few prime numbers before the number 21. Okay, and think about what sum means. That means add 2. So 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17. Okay, let's take 17 because that's the closest one to 21. We could write 19 down actually as well. That's the closest one to 21. But then if we added 2 to that, that would give us 21, but we need 3 prime numbers. So 19's not going to work. We won't worry about 19. Let's take 17. 17, add 3, add 2. No, that's not going to work. All right, let's take 13 and see if we can add something to that. 13 plus 5 is 18. Plus 2 is 20. So that's quite close, but not quite there. Let's go with, can we add anything to that? 3. No, we can't get anything, can we? 7. No, we can only get 20 there, can't we? So that's kind of out. Let's take 11, see if we can add anything to 11. So 18, 19, 20, 21. There we go. So we've got 11 and 7 gets us to 18. 11 plus 7, and then plus the 3. 18, and then 18 plus that 3 gets us to our 21. Okay, so the numbers that we're interested in are 3, 7, and 11. Okay. Now in B we've got to find 2 prime numbers with a product of 85. That means 2 numbers that multiply together that are prime that will make the number 85. Okay, so again we could list our prime numbers out: 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. And the more you do this, the more you remember what they are. 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37. We could carry on. We've worked out that was the next 2 from the previous question. And they might do that in exam papers. They might go and give you this sort of question to kind of help you with the next question. That does happen. They are quite nice sometimes with their exam questions that they write. Let's just see if there's any 2 numbers in here that would multiply together to make 85. So what can we multiply to make 85? I think we can multiply 5 and 17 together, can't we? It's 35, yeah, 5 and 17. So, yeah. So it'll be 170, half of 107. No, sorry, I'm babbling now. Right, that's 5 times 10. 5 times 10 is 50. And then 5 times, this is what's gone on in my head here, 5 times 7 is 35, and if I add those 2 I get 85, so that means that 5 times by 17 is equal to 85. That's just kind of what I was thinking there. Alright, so yeah, I found them, 5 and 17. There we go. Right, so that does take a little bit of playing around with. That's why it's one of those more difficult questions. Please do like the videos if you like the videos, or if you learn stuff from the videos, and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the videos and practice when the linked bits are in there for you to practice and get better at maths. All right, cheers. See you next time.